Hey everyone, this video is going to serve two purposes. The first section is my personal AAF export settings and how I like to receive post-production projects. And then the second portion of this video is going to be how to export an AAF file from either Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve. Without wasting any time, on screen now are my preferred export settings for Premiere Pro. And now here are the AAF settings for DaVinci Resolve. In addition to the AAF file that both programs make and its corresponding media, I'll also ask for a flat video render with timecode burnt into it. Having reference audio isn't crucial for the video, but it does help check sync twice, so I do prefer it. If your project is a short film or a narrative, I'll probably also ask for the alternate takes that aren't seen on camera. So to put simply, every audio file that was recorded on or offset. Having these alternate takes oftentimes will help prevent the need for ADR later on, so it always helps. Down in the description of this video, you can find the export settings and my expectations for what I'll receive. You can also both find a work and education email down there if you ever need to reach out. It's also worth noting that just because these are my preferred AAF export settings doesn't mean that your next sound editor will like the same. So always check in and make sure that they get what they want. Hey everyone, this is going to be the tutorial walkthrough portion of the video. We're going to start with Premiere Pro, so this will show you the exact process and then the philosophies behind it.
Nice. So I was gonna ask you again, you gonna stay or you gonna go?
So here's our project in the timeline. To begin, we'll go File, hover over Export, and then select the AAF option. This is going to open the little pop-up box. We're not going to enable mixdown video as I'll be getting a flat render. We will enable breakout to mono. When changing to a different digital audio workstation, it's a good practice to break out to mono. This ensures that your audio editor gets all the required tracks and channels they need. I don't want any effects rendered on the clips when I receive them, so we're going to turn these off. Sample rate, I'll keep at 48,000. That's what the final deliverable will end up being. Bits per sample, I'll choose the highest option. Here's 24-bit. For Premiere Pro, I like to do separate audio. Format we keep as broadcast wave, and then we're going to render complete audio files. Depending on how small we want to keep this file size, we can enable the handles. If we were to choose trim audio files, I would want 1 to 2 seconds for handles. Once we find all our settings, we're good to start the export. The duration of the export really depends on the resolution of your video and the length of your timeline, so I'll check back in a couple minutes when this process is done. So our AAF has just wrapped up, and now we have our AAF media file and then also the AAF file itself. This is what we can open in Pro Tools, Fairlight, you name it. Inside the media, we have 8 files. The reason we have 8 files is because I made this AAF off of a 7.1 surround sound project. Assuming you were to make an AAF from a timeline session, which is what you'll typically do, this AAF media file will be compiled of a lot more clips. And then in the session here, you can see those 8 tracks of content that accounted to these 8 files we have now. So once you have all of this, you're pretty much good to take it into any program. So now let's take a look at getting an AAF file out of DaVinci Resolve. So here we are in DaVinci Resolve 18.6.
Something wrong. No, I just gotta.
This is going to be more of what your timeline will look like before making an AAF. So a little better example on my part. In the Deliver tab, we're going to scroll all the way to the far right to the Pro Tools preset, not the Avid AAF preset. Here in the Video tab, your format doesn't make a whole lot of a difference. I just choose MXF. Audio for codec, I actually choose Embed in AAF here. You'll remember in Premiere Pro, I did separate audio. Here, I like it embedded. It just works better for me. Channels, we're keeping same as source. I want full extents of the clips. And then bit depth, I would go 24 as well. Keeping everything the same in file, so don't worry about that. Choose our location. And then when you go to render, your project is going to do one of two jobs. The first one is the video render. The second one is all your audio files. Then when this deliverable finishes, you'll have a single advanced authoring format file, which you can send off to whomever.